Now, another a specific player guy I want to talk about is Michael Porter Jr. Like, the Nuggets, they're pretty good at drafting, dude. Like, they got Bobo, Michael Porter Jr., Jokic. I mean, damn, dude. It's they have a lot of prospects, Murray's decent. And the Nuggets are that team that's literally on the cusp of potentially being a contending team for the next 5 to 7 years, right? They're on the cusp. They're a super good, super solid team. Teams based off of, runs the offense through Jokic. They're a balanced attack team. But the problem with the Nuggets is that, they don't really have that go-to scorer that can just score from, anywhere. If you just give him the ball, he'll get you that point. And he'll be able to stop runs, hurt, defenses by, just lowering the morale. Like, players like that, right? I think their go-to player right now is kind of like Murray and Jokic in a way, but they're just not, I don't think they're good enough to be that kind of player. But the one true, player that can do that for them is the person they drafted, where they took a risk, is Michael Porter Jr. Now, if you watch Michael Porter Jr., right? If you see his draft videos, most of it is just high school videos. And the reason for that is because this dude has been injured for the longest time. Like, people passed on him because of his back issues. Like he had some messed up back issues that require surgery. I think it was on the disc, like a herniated disc. Some kind of issue with his spine or something. Or I think it was leaking fluid or something of that sort. And to have that kind of surgery, when you're 19, 20 and stuff, it's red flags everywhere. Red flag. And you can understand why teams are not playing this dude, right? When you people who are saying dude, why did we skip this guy? This guy is killing it in the bubble. This dude's averaging 28 points or something. He's been getting double doubles every game. How did we pass up this dude? This dude got back issues, man. And that's one of the most debilitating injuries that an NBA player can have. Besides leg injuries and stuff. Because once the back goes, just in general, once the back goes, dude, it's just difficult all around for you to function now, right? And, the Nuggets took the risk. They let him not play for the year when he was drafted. They just let him slowly recover for the year. Slowly, build more muscle around the back. Overall, build muscle. Improve his diet. Supposedly, this dude was a raw vegan. And, vegan diets are I don't know, man. It's it was not helping him recover as highly as, a regular, mixed diet would be. And I think he's on a mixed diet right now. His family has been having injury issues. So, it might be, genetics, but at the same time, all his families are just vegans. So, there might be a little underlying supporting evidence right there that vegan diets are, not the healthiest, as you can say. It's just weird, for people who are vegans, that are sports athletes, get injured. Come on, dude. Look at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is kind of a vegan, right? He gets injured. Dame Lillard, he went on like a vegan run, and he stopped being a vegan because he was losing too much weight. So it was just not sustainable for a basketball athlete's life, right? You know, Cam Newton goes on a vegan diet, he gets super injured. Like, something's got to correlate with that vegan stuff, man. Like, so, dude, who knows? Like, because Michael Porter Jr. is not a vegan anymore, like, not just a vegan, but a raw vegan. So I don't even know what that even means, dude. Like, raw vegan, like, maybe now, you know, his body has a chance to like actually last in NBA for a long time. Like, if you watch Michael Porter Jr., dude is so talented. Like, dude pulls up from three, smooth dribble, smooth finishing everywhere, man. I mean, this guy reminds me of, you know, Tracy McGrady a lot because, dude, not only is his you know, mechanics super smooth, but just by watching his shooting and like his, you know, his jumper, like, he elevates so high, just like what McGrady used to do, right? And that could be an issue because just like Tracy McGrady, like, people love to undercut Tracy McGrady because, like, dude, you just couldn't stop Tracy McGrady when he was hot, right? So you got, like, you know, you got dirty ass players like Bruce Bowen, like, undercutting Tracy McGrady. Like, a lot of these dudes, like, I've seen plays where Michael Porter Jr., when he elevates super high, like, it cuts really close when dudes are like trying to like defend the 3-point shot, like hit, like they put their leg out and stuff. It gets really close, but you know, he gets away with it sometimes because, dude, he jumps so high and like he'll land like different spots. But, dude, I mean, at his peak, you know, he could be the next Tracy McGrady. I mean, just look at him, like just looking at this guy, like, so smooth, right? Like, you see flashes of Kevin Durant as well. I mean, dude, and that's not even, you know, that's not even just like speculating, because this guy has so much talent to be a superstar. Like, the Nuggets are betting it all on Michael Porter Jr. to be the next person, because just by looking at the draft, like, yes, you can say at hindsight that they're good at drafting, but they took a lot of risks. You know, Bobo had the same injury as Yao Ming, which, you know, that foot issue basically ended Yao Ming's career. Like, when he got that injury, like, he was done. And, you know, that was also a lot of red flags for Bobo, where he dropped down the draft as well. Like, dude, like, same injury that, you know, that ended Yao Ming's career. Like, would you draft a young player with that injury? Now, the Nuggets, you know, the Nuggets have a lot of leeway in dealing with injuries because, like, dude, they got a great player in Jokic. They got a great team overall, where, you know, they're just, like, super good, super solid in the regular season. They got Jokic, you got Murray, you got Gary Harris. You know, they got Paul Millsap. They got a lot of, like, super solid players to, like, allow them to, you know, groom these rookies, let them heal up, and then, you know, just throw them out there and see what goes on right now. Like, Bobo hasn't played for, like, a year, like, almost 2 years, basically. Like, they really took their time in letting him play. So they're really risking it all for them to have possibly the next, you know, dynastic team, because they have the potential to be the next dynasty for, you know, the Denver Nuggets. Like, dude, just having Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. right there, those two players that can be superstar players on the same team with the supporting cast that they have now, as well as having, you know, a backup center like, you know, Bobo, You know, Jamal Murray is all-star caliber. Sometimes, you know, he needs to really work on his IQ, like basketball IQ overall and stuff. But he's, you know, he's super solid. Gary Harris, super solid. They have a bunch of talent. They have a bunch of talent all around. This is kind of similar to, like, you know, the Toronto Raptors right now. They're super solid, right? But not really world-beating, you know, teams. Like, they can beat you basically off of, like, IQ, balanced offense, spread the ball, everything, right? Jokic can, you know, spread the ball, keep triple doubles, everything. But, you know, they're just lacking that true superstar. And here comes Michael Porter Jr. right here. I mean, just by watching him play in the bubble right now, I mean, dude's on fire. Putting up 35, 30, 28. I mean, this dude was going toe for toe with Damian Lillard, right? And dude, they pulled him out just to let the Portland Trail Blazers win. I mean, they want the Blazers to be the A spot, just to make it easier for make it less easier for the Lakers, right? So, you know, will Michael Porter Jr. last the NBA without, you know, without like certain like injuries? Who knows, right? I think he will last because of the diet change. I mean, diet, you know, your body is a temple and whole, everything, but I think after switching the diet, I think it's gonna help out tremendously. And like dude, just by watch, like who wouldn't want to root for talent, right? Like if you see certain talented players, like you automatically just root for them. Like, dude, I want to see this guy at the top of his level. Michael Porter Jr. hopefully will reach that level. The guys like great scorers like Tracy McGrady, Kevin Durant, you know, George Gervin, you know, Carmelo Anthony, like stuff like that. Like you can see the talent in him so badly. Like he will be able to reach it. It's just you need to give him more time. You just need to hope that he stays healthy, right? Because, you know, once that back goes, then it's over. Like Larry Bird, back debilitating injury. Even though he was able to put up 28, you know, 10 and 9, right? Let's just say that. Even though he's able to put that, Larry Bird was not the same player he once was before his back injury. So, you know, the Nuggets, they're going big. They're going big right now. Like all in, basically. They're putting the chips all in on like their draft picks right now. And they're set. The Nuggets are set for the next 10 years if, you know, this thing works. So, Michael Porter Jr. is basically the next true superstar. In the NBA, is just whether, you know, health aside, like, will he ever make it? But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.